guys may know this already. If you don't, I'm actually from Nova Scotia, that area where that fucking lunatic went on a rampage and killed all of those people. So this is kind of personal to me. I grew up there. Most of my friends and family and everybody I care about in the goddamn world lives there, including my children. So, not a great feeling to know that when something like that goes down, your own police force can't be counted upon to warn you that this kind of thing is happening. Now, the first tweet they sent a tweet, by the way. No, the RCMP, no, we sent a tweet, guys. We're 17-year-old kids in a drama club, and we're tweeting out, what the You're the RCMP. You're the federal police force. You're using Twitter? You know who uses Twitter? Not me anymore. Not my parents. Not my kids. Not their mom. Not mostly anybody I know actually uses Twitter. And if they did, they would have to follow your account anyway. What a joke! You think that was good enough? And watch it, man. There'll be promotions and medals handed out for this. Heads should roll, but they won't. No. So at 11 to 12 o'clock at night, they knew there was an active shooter. Their words. They tweeted out. They kept the fire crews back from putting out the many structures that had been set on fire because there was an active shooter threat. Apparently, it wasn't worth warning any of you. Or I apologize. I can't remember the woman's name. Lillian something starts with an H. She was out for her Sunday morning walk, gunned down and murdered because, well, hey, nobody told her there was a maniac on the loose killing people at random. Pretty good question, And, I thought about it, and I slept on it, and there is absolutely no excuse to not have warned everybody using all available means as soon as the situation begins. Well, okay, somebody's clearly running around shooting people, and we don't know where he is or who he is. So obviously, standard operating procedure should be to tell everybody, stay indoors, do not come outside, it is dangerous. We'll let you know when everything's under control, like in Moncton. You remember? There's already a precedent for this. Justin Bork went crazy, started shooting cops all over Moncton. Within an hour, 2 hours, city's locked down, everybody's told to stay indoors, and that's what it was. And it took them and he was hiding, and they eventually found the guy. Now, this guy wasn't even trying to hide. He's setting buildings on fire, gunning people down, shooting people in their cars, driving, all over within a 60-kilometer bubble. From where he started to where he ended is like a 20-minute drive, not even a big area. And it still took them 12 hours to find this guy. Right on. They didn't lock down Colchester County. They didn't close the highways. They didn't block the exit routes or egress routes. They didn't warn the public. They didn't do anything they were supposed to do and normally do. Okay, this is what happens. They've already shown that this is what they do in previous similar events. Now, why didn't they do it in this one? They don't know. They don't have an answer for you. That's what the RCMP spokeswoman said. We just don't have an answer for that question. Yeah, well, then you should be fired. We pay you to have these kinds of answers. We pay you to protect the public, and you can't do it. You can't stop people from blocking railways. You can't invest the Prime Minister's office for corruption. You can't stop lunatics from mass murdering people in the streets. What do we pay you for exactly? I'm just asking. I'm just curious. Is it to set up? It's ticketing people for not obeying the fucking quarantine laws, for not social distancing enough? Is that what it is? Is that what we pay you for? Cool. And, my heart goes out to that poor woman, Constable Heidi Stevenson. At least she tried, man. She gave it a go. She ran that guy's car. Tried to take him out. And about that car. Interesting. It appears to be, and according to the RCMP, it's a mock-up, you see. It's not an actual RCMP cruiser. It just looks absolutely identical to one. It's the same Ford Taurus 2018 police package model, complete with fucking serial identification number and everything. But it's not one of those. It's one that he made. He's a 51-year-old denturist that moonlights as an auto body fucking expert who somehow acquires all these decals, which you can't find legally. He had to make them himself, print them himself, and apply them himself, I'm assuming. Or did he have help? Which leads me to my next fucking question. Now they're saying, is there more than one shooter? Because apparently there was an incident at the Oslo fire station down the road from Truro at around 10:30 in the morning when the shooter was closer to Enfield at this point in time. Witnesses say they saw the RCMP show up, open fire on someone or something, and they went and hid in their bathroom or their bedroom, as you do, like a normal sane person does when bullets are flying around. That's in the news. You can find that story. You know, this just gets weirder and weirder, doesn't it? And they're not answering anything, you know? And I don't think it's not wrong to ask these questions. We pay these people. We pay them to take care of these kinds of things and answer these questions, and they're not doing either. What they are doing is talking about weapons bans. Well, that's funny because the guy didn't even have a fucking legal weapons permit. He didn't even have a firearms license because he was a convicted for assault charges, and the judge said, oh, this guy can't have weapons because he's nuts, obviously. Well, that went weird. So I don't know. It's almost like criminals don't care about the laws or something. It's almost like laws don't stop people from murdering. It's almost like if you're going to go mass murder people, you don't care what the law is. So making laws to punish law-abiding people is going to do exactly zero to stop anybody who's going to do this kind of shit in the future. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm crazy. I'm probably crazy. You know? And the uniforms, he's also got an RCMP uniform or, you know, a replica. Those are her. So he's also a seamstress. He's a denturist. He's an expert fucking, you know, expert at making identical model police cars and uniforms. Interesting story. I like where this is going. And between 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, when the RCMP tweet their alert to everybody, they don't say jack until like 8 o'clock the next morning. Would have been helpful to know what went on in that 7-8 hours exactly. Did he steal one of your cars? Are you embarrassed? Are you trying to cover that up before anybody found out? I don't know. I'm just asking questions, or is that illegal still? Is that illegal now? Are we allowed to ask questions or no? Is that crazy? Am I going to be charged with hate speech and fake news? No, I'm pretty sure these massive tax bills I fucking pay and, you know, allow me to ask these kinds of questions, as everyone else should be, especially the people of Nova Scotia who aren't being told. The Premier, okay? The Premier's saying, hey, we had people ready to go first thing in the morning to send out an emergency alert. Never came. And the request from the RCMP just never came. They just never asked. They were busy. It was too hard to make a phone call to ask everyone to stay indoors because we have a situation. All you had to say, dangerous active shooter situation, please stay indoors until further notice. Cool, done. If only we had recently been testing some kind of system to mass warn people and send out alerts to their cell phones, something almost everyone has. If only something like that existed on April 19th that we could have used to warn people about the deadliest mass shooting in Canadian history. If only someone had been able to stop the biggest police failure in Canadian history.